How's it going, everyone? I'm Keegs, and I wanted to talk about Batman City of Madness, which is a comic that just came out here in 2023, and this comic is really cool. The art style is just absolutely insane, and the story is really interesting and kind of dark. It's a DC Black Label, so it's, a little off the rails sometimes. Because it's so wacky, it might seem like this story is all over the place, but just bear with me because it's actually pretty cool. But it starts off with this kid that's trying to get a bus ticket to Gotham, and the dude that's selling the tickets is like, dude, why do you want to go to Gotham? It's kind of a shithole there, It's literally on the news right now that 800 people just died from some random sinkhole that nobody could have predicted. There's no reason you should be going there. But the kid's like, that's my business pretty much, and the dude's like, whatever, and gives him his ticket to Gotham. We then cut over to Alfred, who's talking about how he used to get really worried how Batman or Bruce would go out at night and fight crime, and he would stay up all night worrying about what would happen. And then he realized at one point that he's just honestly really tired and he just can't deal with it anymore. And he writes these letters and then just burns them and goes to bed because he's tired. And he knows that it doesn't really matter what is ever said to Bruce. He's never going to stop being Batman because honestly, that is who he is to the core, and that trauma that he experienced when he was a kid, when his parents died. Bruce died that day, and really, it's just Batman now. He tries to watch for a crack in the psyche of Bruce or Batman or whatever you want to say, but honestly, he's never really going to find it because there's nothing left to crack. The boy was broken decades ago, and there's no fixing him at this point. So Alfred just goes to bed, always wondering if tonight is the last night that Batman will completely take over all of Bruce and there will be nothing left but the Bat. We then cut over to Harvey, who's kidnapped some random person, and Batman notes how easy this is. It's like so freaking obvious because he kidnapped a twin and he's hiding in a half-decrepit building. So he has to kind of wonder if it's a trap of some kind or at least a trick, which it kind of is. There's definitely an ulterior motive to that. But before he gets to Harvey, he notes just how divided Harvey's goons are. Half of them are dressed to the freaking nines, and half of them look like thugs. This is a direct correlation to what's happening in Harvey's mind right now. His multiple personalities are splitting. They're dividing and fracturing even further than they've ever been. Harvey eventually shows up after Batman's broken enough bones of his goons and says, look, I need your help. Scary Face Harvey would not let me reach out to you just in a normal traditional sense, so I had to stage this random elaborate kidnapping, which would obviously get your attention and bring you to me. So he's just putting out his hand there and saying, I need your help, Batman. We then cut over to some random board meeting and some scientist dude is telling like, hey, look, these sinkholes are happening because of climate change or whatever, and we're destroying the earth and everything. And the CEO is like, yeah, whatever, man, come with me. Like, I don't really want to have to listen to what you have to say to, so we're just going to go down this elevator right here. And the dude's like, that's interesting. I feel like I've never seen that door before. And the guy's like, why would you have? Which is a very ominous thing to say, obviously. But clearly it was kind of disguised somehow. And the scientist is like, hey, like, where are we going? This is getting a little creepy. You're talking to this dude and you're completely ignoring me. And the scientist is getting a little freaked out. But then the board member is like, hey, look, your job was only to inform them. You kind of did a little bit more than that and you tried to advise them. And I don't really tolerate that. And he just stabs the dude and kills him just right there, walks out of the elevator and puts his owl mask on and walks into a secret underground chamber. Obviously the Court of Owls, which was a great new villain introduced in the new 52 run, and it's just a group of very elite, wealthy people from Gotham that secretly control the city. So he walks into this cave, we'll call him Owl 1, and he meets this Owl 2, and then he sees a bunch of dead Court of Owls members on the ground. He's like, whoa, what the heck happened? Did that creature behind the door escape? And Owl 2 says, no, the creature didn't escape. I killed him. And he takes out a knife and tries to kill Owl 1. Luckily, the talon of Owl 1 comes out of nowhere and stabs Owl 2 in the back. And Talons are basically just these secret super soldier semi-dead assassins of the Court of Owls, and some of the higher ranking Court of Owl members actually have like their own personal Talon that is like always protecting them or something. So Owl 1 tells his Talon to go secure that door and he just books it out of there. and he places a bomb on the cave to try to collapse it in order to make sure no one's able to get to that door ever again to uncover whatever creature it was that they were hiding behind there. But just when he does that, a Batman turns up behind him and is like, finally. And he's like, Athena, bless me, holy shit, this is not looking good. So he says, retreat, you vile beast, you will go no further. And all of a sudden, a batarang is thrown and cuts off the Talon's arm with the bomb inside of it. But that bomb still does manage to go off and blows everything up. The creature manages to escape, it seems. Then we cut back to that kid who has now gotten to Gotham, and he's walking through Gotham, and it's just obviously all of the bad cliche things you think. You know, there's prostitutes and people selling drugs, and he says that he's after a cop. In a flashback, we learn that his father went to Gotham, who was a piano teacher, and got killed by some corrupt cop, so he was there to seek his vengeance on that person. Batman's going to Arkham Asylum, and he recounts how he was forced to spend a night there a long time ago, and it basically almost drove him insane. So he's like, this is honestly not where people go to get better. In fact, you probably sink deeper and deeper into whatever hole that it is that your mind has gone into. But anyways, there he meets Dr. Ruth Adams. She tells him that Harvey's even more divided than usual, and Harvey, in this just awesome picture, I love this, she thinks that he is developing a third personality. So his split personality is splitting even further. Batman visits Harvey, and evil Harvey is like, no, there's no one else here, it's just us. But it seems a little conspicuous, if you ask me. He does say that he has been hearing a signal. Batman asks a signal from where, and scary Harvey says that's somewhere worse than here. Batman's not really impressed with that answer though, but he sees the bat signal and he's like, whatever man, I gotta get out of here. I've got other things to do than play these stupid mind games. On Batman's way out though, Harvey's just like screaming, ranting like, there's something coming to Gotham, and it's something truly evil, something you've never seen before. Ominous. Then we cut back to our favorite little kid who has been just wandering the streets of Gotham randomly, which is literally the highest crime rate city in the world, so it seems like a bad idea. And all of a sudden, these dudes kind of jump him because they hear that he's after a cop. And all these guys are wearing these really freaky little animal masks, and they're like, hey, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here, little kid. We're gonna teach you a lesson for that. And our little kid, who may not be so little anymore, pulls out a literal gun, and then all the people in masks are like, whoa, take it easy there, man. Like, you don't have to do this, but you're just a kid. You're not gonna shoot us, right? And he says, I'm not a boy, I am vengeance, which is, pretty reminiscent of Batman seeking vengeance for, the murder of his parents too. But the dude in the mask, I don't know if he's on drugs or something, but he says, you're effing dead is what you are. And he jumps towards him when all of a sudden the dude in the fox mask is taken and he just vanishes. One of the dudes in the mask says, what was that? Is it him? Is the Batman? The other dude just runs off. That's in the bird mask. And then the dude in the shark mask is like, back off or I'll kill the kid or whatever. Like, stay back. You don't want to do this. And I kid you not, a batarang comes out and decapitates the shark head dude. I mean, there's blood everywhere. The kid is obviously traumatized. He has no idea what the hell just happened when Batman kind of creeps up and it says, like, really creepily, like, worry not. He can't hurt you now, child. And it looks at him directly. And it is just this grotesque monster that reminds me of like something that came out of the depths of the ocean from thousands or maybe even millions of years ago. So then it's revealed that the Court of Owls has secretly been guarding this door with that crazy creature that clearly has a misguided sense of justice, who is just slicing people's heads off. And they say, okay, look, it's time to act. One of the head Court of Owls guys says, Lord Strigaday, we must act to protect Gotham because we are Gotham. Their best talent is down, so their best option right now to save Gotham from this creature is to do a little team up with someone who they have previously tried to take down, which is of course the Batman. Going back to Alfred being exhausted, he talks about how the fact that he wanted to stop Bruce from becoming the Batman and devoting his whole life to this quest for justice or vengeance or whatever you call it, but the fact of the matter is he wanted vengeance too because that was his friends Thomas and Martha Wayne that were killed. Harvey wakes up to a very weird rendition of Two-Face where it's like the top half of his head is Harvey and the bottom half is like Two-Face or whatever scary evil Harvey, and this ghost premonition Harvey is like, you fool, I'm both of you but just from a different angle, but I do have a message to you for the Batman, and you have to let him know the Batman below has the boy and he means to make a Robin out of him. So what this thing is like a dark mirror of the Gotham that we know. So this thing is based off the feelings and the thoughts from current Gotham. So we get this explanation that buried deep beneath Gotham City, there exists another Gotham. This Gotham below is a living nightmare, populated by a twisted mirrors of our own Gotham's denizens, fueled by the fear and hatred flowing down from above. For decades, the door between the cities has been sealed and heavily guarded by the Court of Owls, but now the door swings wide and the other Gotham's version of the Dark Knight has escaped to trap and train a Robin of its own. Batman must form an uneasy alliance with the court and its deadly allies to stop him and prevent Gotham from falling into madness. So we know that this is like a parallel world. It reminds me of like Bizarro World from Superman, where he thinks he's doing good and doing what Batman would do, but in fact he's actually killing people and he's missing the entire point of Batman. But I'm really excited to see where this comic goes. I think it's super trippy and wild, and the art is just so cool that I think that I want to keep covering it because it's just a really new and fresh take. But let me know what you thought of this comic, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't, or if you just think it is something too weird for the Batman universe. I'm Keeks, and I will catch you all next time for some more Batman content.